Many people, and you saw regime propagandists when I escaped Uganda, and the next stop was Washington. They went on social media and said, you see, Bobiwine is an agent of the whites, he's an agent of colonialism. Why did he go to America? Why didn't he go to an African country?
Bobiwine tewakuba basajja kimoni. Bobiwine, you were allowed to get out. Waliwo mukadde w'ekkanisa eggulu. He helped you to get out.
And they would be right if they were not idiots. Why? I mean, look back in the 60s, the fight for independence, in the 70s, in the days of Idi Amin, and even the 80s, in the days of Milton Obote, Ugandan dissidents would just cross the border to Kenya and they would be safe. The likes of Museveni. Well, Museveni went to Europe. The same person criticizing me for going to the West. He was in Sweden with his family.
Obuterevu Phillies exclusive ensonga za leero ansobola kugamba ate munange basajja bakulu bo ababadde nga bajjonkera His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu mu kaseera kano ate munange abawadde level oba bafunye we balina okubanga bakoma ebbanga lyonna abangi abadde nga ate munange bayingirira ensonga zino okuva mu musajja mukulu bwe yasituka n'agamba nti kakati akangenda ate munange ensonga za struggle anzitwaleko ebweru eggwanga nsobola okubanga nsisinkana abo abasobola okubanga bateekawoko ku mbeera gy'osobola okubanga ate munange oyita ey'omuggundu mu kaseera kano basajja bakulu bazenga mu balaba Honorable Munyagwa ab'enjawulo Honorable Mukasambidde na bonna abazinga batambulira ku ludda ng'oyinza okugamba nti ba opposition wabula ate nga bajjonkera His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu kale nno mu kaseera kano avuddeyo n'abeera nga awa gye wandiise response basajja bakulu gye babadde nga balindiridde ebbanga lyonna Honorable Munyagwa nga bwemusomeddeko n'abalala b'enjawulo babadde nga basaale nnyo mu nsonga zino nga bagamba nti ate musajja mukulu yandibanga alina mu documentary kale nno mu kaseera kano His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu okusinziira ku bubaka bwavuddeyo n'abeera nga ate munange atuusa ng'asinzidde ku saidi za New York wala ate munange seera akabadde ak'ekiro kyakeseza olunaku olwaleero basajja bakulu yavuddeyo n'abeera nga abanukula mu ngeri emuko oba endala nga bwegenda okuba nga ati obyekkanya ku Phillies exclusive obisanga sesonza abeerawo ku mukutu gagadde ensonga n'embeera nga ate munange nzikusembereza wakola kyamaanyi gwenno eyasalawo n'obeera nga osubscribinga ku mukutu wokka awe tusinzira okuba nga tukusembereza ensonga ate nabakuba nga osubscribinga nyiza kugamba nti subscribe osobola okuba nga ate munange okona ne mukadde ensonga tusobola okuba nga tuzekkanya n'abalala basobola okuba nga ate munange abalaba biki byenkwetikidde mu kaseera kano musajja mukulu ye ansobola kugamba nti ate yabagasse wamu kakota n'asobola okuba nga abawa response ate munange nga abakubisa na bwino okusinziira ku ki kyogenda okuba nga ate munange wekkanya teweerabira anti shekashela afudde mbakugamba nti musaale nnyo mu mbeera okuba ate munange agonjolamu n'okujjanjaba ebirwadde byonna ebitolera mu bulamu bwo abeera nga omukoonako okunamba esimbi olaba esimbi ekumi ku screen yo ajja kuba akuvumula ajja kuba akujjanjaba ajja kuba akusumira ku dduwa obulamu asobola okuba nga ate abuza mu nteeko nzikiriza ate munnaye nkwe ku bigambo bya His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu osobola okuba nga obyekkanya.
They went on social media and said, you see, Bobiwine is an agent of the whites, he's an agent of colonialism. Why did he go to America? Why didn't he go to an African country? And they would be right if they were not idiots. Why? I mean, look back in the 60s, the fight for independence, in the 70s, in the days of Idi Amin, and even the 80s, in the days of Milton Obote, Ugandan dissidents would just cross the border to Kenya and they would be safe. The likes of Museveni. Well, Museveni went to Europe. The same person criticizing me for going to the West. He was in Sweden with his family. But I mean, people like Dr. Kiza Besigye and others had their bases in Nairobi, in Tanzania, and other countries. Question is, how come then I did not go to Kenya? All of you have seen that the Ugandan dictatorship has gone ahead to export its impunity even across the border. And this, I keep telling the Americans and the Europeans that every time they tolerate a dictatorship, it grows from a seed to a seedling to a big tree. And now, the impunity has been exported to Kenya and Tanzania and other countries. No wonder now abductions are the order of the day. It never used to happen in Kenya. one would be
abalungi abatuwuliriza era abatulaba olunaku olwaleero tukyaddeko ewa Sheikh Ashraf Dembe.
Sebo sanyusa okubalaba. Amannya agange Seeka Ashraf Dembe akola ku bizibu by'enjawulo. Omuntu singa aba alina ebirwadde musomereddwa tumuwa amazzi ga lukuya nga bw'obadde ogalaba, tugenda abantu ku kyoto ne twokya emizimu emibi egibabaamu n'okulomba edduwa. Abantu singa abeera ng'ali wano atuuse sobola okumulombera edduwa, ne waba atatuuse nga mpadde amannya ge naye ng'ali wala. Neetaase ennamba yange yeeno eri 0701763711. Nammwe bannyinaffe abali ebweru oyagala okuba nti oyagala okulombera ku dduwa ng'olina ebizibu, viza zibuze, amaka gakolongotana, sente zikola zimpita mu ngalo, ojja kumpeereza ekifaananyi kyo n'amannya go, ebyo byokka bijja kummala, nja kukulombera edduwa, ojja kutereera. Olunaku olusembayo mu mwezi mba n'edduwa ey'awamu ffenna n'abalwadde bange abakadde n'abapya. Salaamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
safe in Kenya or Tanzania. But you saw Dr. Besigye was abducted from Kenya by Ugandan security, driven across the border in a car trunk, and then slapped with bogus charges in a kangaroo military court. And now the same people are questioning why I did not base in Kenya. You saw what happened to our sister Agatha Dwele and other activists in Tanzania. And now the same people are wondering why I did not serve myself to the regime by going to Tanzania. Anyway, here I am, alive and kicking, and still going. The biggest question therefore would be, what next? What is the mission? Friends, I am not in exile, I'm on a mission.
Thank you.
Amen. Yeah.
And I'm not going to stop. We are not going to stop. Yes, I'm saying that to me, don't quote me, because technically I'm in exile. But spiritually, I am not. I'm on the move. And this move, the final stop, it might not be the next stop, but the final stop will be Kampala, Uganda. We have a problem, a very, very big problem. But we are going to turn this problem into an opportunity. Somebody say it after me. We are going to turn this problem into an opportunity. We are going to turn this problem into an opportunity. Because yes, we can, and we are going to do that. They thought by driving me out of their country, they had finished the game. They're just starting it. It's important to look at challenges and turn them into opportunities. I mean, I don't remember when I last had an opportunity to engage the New York chapter, to talk our own truth to each other, to recharge each other, to remind each other that each other is all that we have. But this that we have is not little. No, it is not. It is such a huge, huge force that if we galvanize it and harness it, it can do wonders. What I've been doing and what I'll continue to do is, first and foremost, keep on knocking at different doors and lobbying and exposing this regime. Good enough, this imbecile is doing it for us. I don't have to come and explain to any official here in the US or anywhere in the world the criminality that is going on back home. It is on X. I just tell somebody, open. That is exactly what I'm talking about. You see, the painful fact is that just like Idi Amin, right from the days of Idi Amin, all these dictators have been propped up by the developed world until they turn against them or until they become so embarrassing. That is the time where the Museveni regime has reached. It is embarrassing even those that associate with it. And it's time for them to disassociate with it. When our forefathers were fighting against slavery, there are many that were supporting it. until it became so embarrassing to associate with. When the Mandelas in their time were fighting against apartheid in South Africa, apartheid was the thing. In fact, back then, the British Prime Minister branded Nelson Mandela a terrorist. But eventually, apartheid fell. It didn't fall like a miracle. No, it took efforts. I remember here in New York, back in the 80s, a documentary about apartheid South Africa was shown here in New York. It was launched here in New York, and it was shown in various, cinemas across America. And that alone was an expose that ultimately pushed the US government to acknowledge that indeed apartheid was evil, and the US government, plus all other governments in the developed free world, to associate with. That's exactly what we are going to do. That's exactly what we are doing. And we are succeeding. We are succeeding. No wonder they are pushing back. If we are not succeeding, they will not be pushing back. We want to push for sanctions because this country has laws, and those laws, they function. They have the global Magnitsky law that, is to the effect that corrupt governments and government officials and those that are involved in gross human rights violations can be sanctioned. Their properties, Wamba, what is Kuwamba in English? Confiscated and all that. That is what we want to do. We want sanctions on Museveni, his son, and all those officials that are involved in gross human rights violations, in the torture of our people, in the subversion of democracy, and even those judges that are so immoral and are so criminal that they present somebody to them that is grossly tortured, but instead of sending that person to the emergency room, they send them to prison. You saw what happened to Kakwenza. You saw what happened to Edmutwe and others. Sekirinya and others. So, it works, and that is exactly what we are doing. But also, and very importantly, to mobilize ourselves in the diaspora. Friends, you people in the diaspora are very important. For all these countries that have freed themselves, the biggest percentage of that effort has come from the diaspora. You are the brain. And you're operating from a safe zone. So let's use it. But we can only use it when we interact regularly. That's why I keep moving from one place to another, from one state to another, to ensure that at least we charge each other. They say it's one hand that washes another. I get energy off you to keep going. And I hope I also emit some energy to you to keep going. And there we'll keep going and going and going and going. Iron sharpens iron. Finally, friends, I want you to know that we must organize. The diaspora is so effective, not just here in America. I'm here in America, and for as long as I still can't move, I will go to Europe, I will go to the Arabian countries, I will go to Africa, the safe countries in Africa. But again, don't worry about me. If I could make it out of Uganda, I can even make it back into Uganda. And before you know, we're in Entebbe. So, let us keep believing. Let us keep going. Let us keep organizing. Let us keep agitating. Let us keep making friends. Making friends for Uganda. We are going to be free. Me, I'm not giving up. No, I'm not going to give up. In any case, what other alternative other than keep going? I like Bob Marley. He said you can never know how strong you are until being strong is the only solution. Here we are. Here we are. Finally, I want to thank the people that have supported us. Personally, I always laugh at myself when I say I'm homeless, because I am. The military took over my home. But I've lived just as comfortable as I was in my home because I'm surrounded with love. I want to thank you very much for keeping me fed, for keeping me clothed, for keeping me hopeful. Do that to each other. Do that to each other. Let us keep making each other feel safe, feel loved, feel secure. And let us keep the hope alive. So with those few remarks, friends, I want to appreciate you so much. Tomorrow, I'm being lined up for an award ceremony here in New York. And then the day after tomorrow, we'll have a leadership retreat in Boston. We'll engage. I keep visiting various universities. A few days ago, I was at the University of California in Berkeley. In the coming days, I hope to speak to the students in Howard University in Washington. Hope to speak to the students in Harvard and many other places to ensure that this time where the regime thinks I should be crying and I should be in a corner regretting why I ever got into this, I want to stand here and tell the regime that if I had to do it again, I would do it and even more stubbornly. Yeah. Let us keep fighting. Uganda is going to be free. I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt about that. These things that you see the regime doing show an exiting regime. If they were still here, they would be operating with confidence. But now they're operating with fear. They are under fear. Let us keep pushing. One day we'll be meeting in our own home. One day we're not going to have to be shy about our country. We're going to be proud of our country. We're not going to have to be scared. We will be free, and that is very soon. But it's not going to come as a miracle. It's going to come out of the work and the push that we exact. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you very much.